and welcome to Conversations with Classic Cuties. I'm your host, Ebony. Joining me are my co hosts, Jade and Tammy. Today's podcast is titled For Your Entertainment with our special guest, Chris Crawford, better known as DJ Pleasure. But before we get into that, everyone, we're going to go ahead and start talking about us. So, how's life treating y'all?
Life is life. That's all I have to say. It's life.
Life is life.
Well, I can honestly say the same.
Okay.
But it's going to get better. I mean, I have true faith. We want to get too, religious with it, but I have true faith that God already worked it out.
Facts.
Okay?
Done.
Okay. But we wanted to move into a different style of topic tonight with local entrepreneurship here in Baton Rouge, where we're from. And we have so much talent here in Baton Rouge that goes unnoticed. And part of this podcast is to try and get people aware of who we have here, the talent that we have here, and put it on display for everyone.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. All right. So without further ado, I want to introduce our special guest, Chris Crawford. Yay. Should I say DJ Pleasure? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How y'all ladies doing?
Good.
We good. How about you?
All right, so first thing I want to say is, I watched previous podcasts and y'all do a phenomenal job, but I think all three of y'all need a vacation. Because y'all say it's life and every time. Y'all say life is life and every time. So I need y'all to go ahead and plan that vacation right now.
Yes. Good point. Yeah, I agree.
I agree 110%.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
I literally just told somebody that. I was like, it's time for a vacation. It's long, long overdue.
Oh yeah, living down here, you gotta get out of town every blue moon just to relax, relate, release.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I need all three of them arms.
That right.
For real.
Yes. So, let's get into it. Let's start with the age. I know you say DJ Pleasure. What's the age?
I am 40. The big 40. F-A-W-T-Y.
Okay.
40. Yeah, made that this year, back in January. But I feel good at 40. I will say that. It's crazy. The generations are so different now because, I know we all close to the same age and we look just as good as some of these younger kids. I don't know what they doing to themselves.
Well, I'm 50.
Oh, that's right. And don't look a tap up. Come on now.
Come on, somebody.
All right, I ain't gonna say you're 48. I'm sorry. That's right.
I think I don't say it.
Okay, but you've been doing this for a minute, so tell us.
Yeah. Well, crazy thing is, so a lot of DJs that, are from here or wherever in the world, it started at a younger age. I actually started in 2012. So, I have an older brother. He is my older brother, and he bought some equipment and just played around with it. He wasn't taking it serious. He just wanted to have a hobby to do. But when he bought it, I started playing around with his little board he had, and I fell in love with it. So I started kind of investing into it, and even booking little small gigs, even though I didn't know what I was doing. But I started investing into equipment. I was at that time I was working at AT&T. So when I would get off from work, I would get off, go straight to my apartment, and I would be up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just going over music, practicing routines, trying to develop myself into getting to where I wanted to be. So, I've been at it for 12 years. It's been a journey. it's been a journey. I've seen and done a lot, and but yeah, I've been at it for 12 years now. So, like I said, it just took for me to just actually get my hands on experience when my brother bought that equipment, and from there on, I just it's been a journey ever since. So
Gotta start somewhere, right?
that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Since he was literally sitting on something that it revealed a talent, why not take your brother's son?
Well, yeah, I've been musically inclined for years now. I've always been in the choir since I was younger. I could sing as well. So musically, even when I was in elementary school and performing in talent shows, singing in groups, and I would be coming home hurrying up to watch the box. Y'all remember the box?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we telling our age right there.
Oh, yeah.
I would be rushing home. Yeah, that's right. Got to fix that antenna and get that right signal. But yeah, I would be rushing home to even, just sing and do the different dances and, different stuff like that. So, it's just musically I've always been, involved in some format. I even back through 2006 to 2010, I threw one of the biggest gospel musicals in Baton Rouge. A lot of people don't even know that about me. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that about me. So like musically, I have a pretty hefty background. They have a Stellar Award winner from Baton Rouge named Timothy Britton in Shabbat Praise Company. I sung with them maybe about 4 or 5 years. And so, I'm sorry, not Stellar Award winner, Stellar nominated. So my musical journey it started before I started DJing. DJing is just an additive that I was able to, incorporate into it, and just, having opportunity to entertain like that, that's just something that I give a lot of, thanks to, people that have been involved in my life through my life as far as kind of teaching me different things and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay, so that means you gonna sing us a tune before you go?
I was thinking the
I
same.
don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
I was
Look.
going to catch you while you started when you first said it.
Yeah, because
So we should have
he said it, and then he had some.
we should have talked about that pregame.
He said that he had some traffic afterwards, so I had to slide on in there. Don't worry about it. Keep it that job.
I ain't got it.
Wanted.
Look, you might well we gonna book you to come sing on a Friday night.
Yeah.
You ready?
All right, Mr. Crawford. So let us know what kind of events or upcoming events you have going on these days.
Right now, so far this year, I've done 2 events so far. I did the first, because I normally do about 4 to 5 events a year for 30 and up crowd. So the first one I did this year was Sunset on the Rocks. We did that downtown at Cecilia's for our 30 and up group. It was a day party on a Saturday. It's not too often that you get to see day parties on Saturdays, and not too often that you get to see day parties for a 30 and up. And when I say 30 and up, it's really about 35 or more and up. It's a true grown folk crowd.
That's what I'm talking
So we did that back in April or I think it was April. Yeah, it was April. So we did that. That was the first event. The second event I did was actually for the teachers. We did a after school event for them at Chelsea's. We had a packed house. A lot of teachers from all over came through. We had a good time. We knew we wouldn't have them, for a long time, because we know at the end of the night, most of them, they feed to Red Stick. Shout out to TJ and Squeak. They always do a big teachers event every year. So we knew we wouldn't keep them too long, but we just wanted to give them another option to do something. So that was that. And then between that time and to now, I've been kind of planning for the fall, because summertime is a little slow. People are out of town,
Right.
traveling, vacation, and stuff like that. So in the fall, the first event that I have coming up, I don't know if y'all know, but 2 years ago I did one of the biggest themed events in Baton Rouge, Harlem Nights event. We did about 650 people at Boudreaux's. It was a 30-up crowd. It was it was at Boudreaux. It was a great event. So I've had this thought concept of doing like movie themed events, and I kind of had in my mind my top 3. So I'm going into my second installation of that, which will be September 28th. It's a Saturday night in Baton Rouge. Southern does not have a game. Let's get that out the way. That'd be the first thing people say. Hold on, who Southern play or who LSU play? Right. Southern doesn't play anybody that weekend. I think LSU plays early in the day, and they're not really playing nobody worth talking about. So, but yeah, that Saturday night will be at Chelsea's, and we're doing a New Jack City themed event. It's gonna be something different. The thought process of it is, if you remember in that movie, the party scene from that movie, they had, the throwback rope chains. The ladies had the bamboo earrings on with the finger roll hairstyles, all that. So that's the biggest concept I need people to grasp about this event is the style of dress, because that's what's going to really formulate the nostalgia of the event itself. You know what I'm saying? So, it's September 28th. It'll start at 9 o'clock that night. Right now, tickets are available on my website, www.djpleasure225.com. That's www.djpleasure225.com. So right now, the tickets, we extended the early bird period. Right now, they're just $25. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm trying to see my whole thing is I'm trying to continue to give new and innovative events.
Right.
Not knocking nobody's events. Let me go ahead and preface my comments with that. I'm not trying to knock anybody's, but for the most part, we have some of the same themed events every year. It's either all white, all black, black and white. I'm trying to do something different and give, just a different style. And also for our older crowd, we don't really have nowhere to go. Right. we don't have anywhere to go outside of just lounges, daiquiri shops, stuff like that. Unless you go into a local restaurant, you just sit with your friends and have drinks at a bar. So, and the thing, and the crazy thing is, like, at the age we at, we're not gonna be out like that, but we still want to get out every once in a while. You want to let your hair down. You just want to come out smelling good, feeling good. So that's why I try to do something, at least 4 to 5 times a year, trying to just give people something different to do. And my whole thought process behind it is I want to make you feel like you're not in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to tell people all the time, come with an open mind musically, especially because I know we want to hear the local stuff sometimes, and not all the time. I feel like, honestly, when I do my events, we probably give you about 15, 20 minutes of local music. That's it.
Right.
Everything else is you getting everything from Afro beats to R&B, hip. We playing stuff from all over West Coast, East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So we really just try to give you a completely different flavor. And, because the crazy part about it, people, when they go out of town, they don't hear nothing from Baton Rouge because you in a whole other city. They not on our music like that. Now, maybe in Houston because it's so close, but like outside of that, you don't hear that music all the time. So it's like, why not come somewhere locally and have that same mind frame when you're out of town? Like, just be open to just listening and enjoying yourself. Because, I mean, you're drinking up everything gonna sound good. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
definitely the truth.
yeah. So, but yeah, so September 28th, New Jack City. And then for homecoming, I have Chelsea's again. Me and my partner, my big bro, Drake Muse. He went to Southern years ago. Yeah, so me and Drake, we've teamed up a couple of times for homecoming, but we teamed up for the first time together, just me and him last year, and we were at Chelsea's, and we did a throwback 90s party, and we did probably about 300 to 400 people in there. It was, man, we had a blast. Like, we really, really had a blast. You can go check out some of the videos on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, DJ_pleasure225, and just go back and look at the videos from October of last year. And we had a damn good time. So that'll be homecoming weekend next Saturday. We pretty much will be done, because I mean, and I just know this for a fact because it's been like this the last couple of years, but we'll pretty much be the only like true adult option that Saturday night. Now, I know a lot of people say, man, I've been tailgating all day that Saturday and been drinking all day, and then I go to the game and I be too tired to come out there. Listen, we don't implement dress up, dress code, and none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, we had people that came straight from the game and just hung out. I mean, it's not one of them scenarios where we trying to make you have to go and get dazzled up, and we know you've been out there tailgating all day. Oh yeah, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, that crowd and that fan base that Drake already had before I tag team with him and brought the people that support me as well, combined, it works out. So I mean, I'm telling you, like, even though you may be tired, that's definitely gonna be worth your time. So that'll be that homecoming weekend that Saturday. Now, the last event that I'm thinking about doing is not set in stone yet. I haven't done it in 2 years, but I normally try to do a Christmas event the last Saturday before Christmas. So I did it 2 years ago. We had Universal Language. I DJ'd. I had another DJ, my boy DJ Rod B, and we did that, and we had a packed house. So you know, I'm thinking about doing it again this year. I'm gonna see how this next event goes first, and I kind of predicate it off of that if I'm gonna do it or not. But yeah, so that's what I got. We got September 28th, New Jack City. I can't remember the exact date for homecoming for Southern. I think it's like the weekend of the 19th. Yes, so the 19th.
That's why we can't be here.
Oh. Yeah, so it'll be the 19th, that Saturday night at Chelsea's, which we'll drop, you know, the flyer and all that coming up soon. And then to be announced about the Christmas event. Yeah, so.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and also I have I got a lot of events coming up too that I'm actually gonna be DJing and a part of. But one in particular, I ain't gonna drop the details, but I just know that Friday night, because he confirmed everything today. But TJ, I'm gonna be with him that Friday night, and from more of the details he gave me today, yeah, that's where you gonna want to be Friday. So just follow me for that too. That Friday night of homecoming. So.
Okay.
I have to ask, we do have some guests in the audience. Do any of our guests have any questions that they may want to ask DJ Pleasure in reference to his event, or any questions before we move along?
Am I gonna get you? Which event you talking about? Oh,
That's my dog.
As long as you're 30.
That's my dog.
Oh, well, if you come with your mama come, I'll let you slide in.
Try again. I know. Maybe next time.
It'll be at least 28, 29. I'll let you slide in there. Yeah.
That's all like my shot.
Like, Mama, can I go with you? You think they'll just?
All right, so
yeah.
DJ Pleasure,
That's right.
nightlife in Baton Rouge. What we let's talk about that.
You want my opinion on it?
Yes.
Yeah, come on. Let's get into it.
Let me get into this. We turn.
Times have changed. We're not. So, I mean, let's be realistic. We don't really have a plethora of clubs down here. We got some of the ones that are still standing strong years after years, like Regs and what's another one?
Most of them done closed on
Yeah,
Mariko's?
they done plummeted. You know what I'm saying?
Mariko's still open?
I don't even. Hey, look, I heard about Mariko's and I ain't never been.
I went there
I
one
never
time when
been.
I was
It's
like
crazy.
17.
It's crazy as it may sound. Like, I mean, I DJ, and even coming up, when I was younger, in a young age, I didn't really go out like that. Like, I went out to certain events. You know what I'm saying? That was my style. Like, I mean, but just certain atmospheres just wasn't conducive for me. You know what I'm saying? But hopping back on what you just asked me about the nightlife in Baton Rouge right now, I think it's not bad. You have a lot of promoters that are doing good things in the city. Shout out to Tori. She's been doing a lot of stuff. She has the biggest masquerade ball in the city every year. She's been doing her thing. Shout out to Dijon. He's got one of the biggest black parties, in the city. That's my little brother right there. And TJ is still TJ. I call TJ the GOAT in Baton Rouge because he started a movement, years ago that nobody else was even, trying to do. They were scared to do, with Perfect 10. So, and also shout out to Sweet, BJ. I mean, it's a lot of them out there, man. I don't want to keep naming names because if I forget somebody, they gonna get mad. But, as far as the nightlife right now, I think we aren't in a bad place, but we are definitely in a place of improvement.
Right.
I think that some of the promoters need to start being a little bit more, I'm not going to say creative, but I'm going to say just being a little bit more strict on how you're running your events and, things that have turned people around not want to come out anymore. And I'm not going to get into too much detail, but it's just, I'm just going off of, seeing people make comments about stuff and people that have came and asked me about different things. But as a whole, though, I think that we headed in a good direction. For the most part. Now, in regards to, just the way that it's going, I mean, people are going to support what they want to support. So, I tell promoters, I had to tell one other day, like, you can't get in your feelings about certain things. You have to just go whatever your idea is, just push forward and push through. And I had to learn it myself. I still have people tell me that this day when I might get disencouraged about an event because I'm used to my stuff just selling, like, selling out quick. But sometimes you have to play the long game and you have to understand you live in a city where people are last minute. And that's what I've been stressing to people about, even particular events like I'm having. Like, this is not an event that you can just pop up and say in a week of, oh, you know what, I'm going to go check it out. Because now you're doing it a disservice because you need to go you got to order your stuff that you're going to, you know what, you know what I'm saying? So it's, exactly, you know what I'm saying? So,
You can't go to a theme party and not dress like
exactly, because I mean, what's the purpose of going? You know what I'm saying? But back to the nightlife situation, I think it's headed in a good direction. I feel like if everybody can continue to, push forward with the momentum that they're gaining right now, especially going into the fall. Like, I think you're about to see a lot of different activities going into football season. Because this is the busiest time of the year for like promoters and DJs, no question about it. So, I think it can be improved though. I think people also have to look at, as consumers, take into consideration the amount of money that's being spent to make you have a good time. People tend to, complain about pricing and ticket prices and, this sections cost too much, this and that. But it's certain things that you got to look at. You got to look at the venue, the quality of it. If the venue speaks quality, if somebody's having something at anywhere downtown, like a River Center or a Hilton or something like that, automatically the venue makes the ticket, a certain price.
Right.
Then the quality of the event, are they making you dress up? Are they gonna have this and that? It's a lot of integral parts that goes into it.
But I want to ask,
Go ahead.
why do you choose to do these events? Like, what is your driven purpose of wanting to, like, the topic tonight is
Yeah.
for entertainment.
Right.
So, why do you choose to do these events for public?
So, believe it or not, I've been doing events longer than I've been DJing. So, honesty moment, yes, you want to make money. Let's just be honest. You want to make money from it. You know what I'm saying? You want to make money, but I always tell people it's quality over quantity. Because if your event doesn't have any quality, then you're not gonna make no money. Then you're not setting yourself up for a future in that. So I do it because I just love to entertain people and give them something, to just get their mind off of whatever they're going through.
Something to
You know what I'm
look
saying?
forward to.
So, yeah. And that's the same reason why I love DJing too. Like, you may have had a horrible week at work, and you come in wherever I'm at DJing that particular event, and you done had your couple drinks, your head get to bobbing. Now you ain't even thinking about what you're going through no more. You just, in that moment, you're just kind of, enjoying yourself. So it's the same thing with creating events and DJing. It kind of, it comes together in a sense. So, you had a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got to get this one out. Because when we previously discussed some information before this podcast, Chris and I talked about the pandemic. Okay. It was a lot of DJs. If you were not a DJ, you became a DJ. You tried it out for the first time. So I look at, he was on live. It's a couple other DJs that I know that were on live. I could go and name a few, but you had a gospel, session. To get everybody through COVID. And when I tell you, I noticed his live, it was lit. It started out with a couple of people here, then it grew to a couple more hundreds, and then it started growing. But I can say that this was a blessing to us because we was going through it at home.
Oh yeah.
And the energy that you gave on your live was like, this dude has a passion for this. And listening to his music was like, you know how to blend. Mm-hmm. I don't know all the technical terms for DJing, but listening to how it was, you were faded out and you hear the other song coming in, I was like, all right. So being at home, I can say being at home and listening to you give everyone life through. Speak on that.
So when the pandemic hit in 2020, I was looking at other DJs doing their thing because, I tune in to everybody because it doesn't matter who you hear playing. You can always maybe pick up something from another DJ, no matter how long you've been doing it. Hell, Jazzy Jeff, probably the greatest in the world, he still looks at other DJs, he said, to pick up different stuff. And so for me, I was just tuning in, and one thing that stuck out to me was, well, man, nobody is doing gospel music, DJing. So from that point on, I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try something different. And I went ahead and I did, I tried it one Sunday, and to what you just said, you was like you kept growing, but maybe you didn't notice the first Sunday I did it, I had maybe 1,500 people viewing. 1,500 people viewing. So yeah, so you know, again, I've been in church. I've been in church all my life. I come from, church backgrounds. Shout out to my mama. But that was something I felt was needed, and I also felt like, at that time, just on Sundays, people weren't able to really go to church. I mean, you had some people that were, trying to do church, I guess, over internet. There, like the pastor would come on, say some words and stuff, but musically, they needed that. So I went ahead and just went with it, and man, it went crazy. You know what I'm saying? It went crazy. It went so crazy to where my pastor was like, we need to do this in between services on Sundays now. So I did that for a while. I had to stop because of the job I had, but yeah. So that's pretty much where I was at with it. I saw a lot of people just hurting, you know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of jobs couldn't continue to pay their employees. You had people just, that were looking like they were okay, but they weren't. So yeah, that's where I went with that. Oh yeah, most definitely was a need for the people. So
I also want to stress, I'm glad that you came out, because you could have been anywhere else tonight, but you chose to.
Oh yeah. Man, look, I'm all about supporting people. You know what I'm saying? And I do it without expecting it in return. You know what I'm saying? So, because then it's not genuine if you do it like that. So, when you hit me up about it, I was like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, but I hadn't really seen nobody, doing, too many podcasts around Baton Rouge. So yeah, I was excited about it when you hit me up about it.
That's good. Yay us. Yay. I've been asked by many, like, how do you go about choosing your topics? How do you go about choosing your guests? Okay, and I'm gonna keep it real with everybody. I just meditate and I pray and I ask. I pretty much ask God, like, okay, what's next? What needs to be discussed? Like, and I just look around. I do, be on social media and see, certain things, but I want to put things out there and promote people that want to do things similar to what you're doing. And like, that was going to be my next question as far as our youth. What advice do you have for our youth? Because there are younger DJs. Her birthday's today, DJ Young Nay. She actually opened up, or she did a DJing for the little girl Lele. Yeah, yeah, work with a sister. Yeah, Lele, shout out to Lele.
Yeah.
But yeah, she at the River Center. So they do have younger talent. It's a little guy that DJs for our alumni. Shout out to him. Gotta get your name, but baby, you do your thing. And like I say, for our youth, what advice do you have for the youth?
Talking about as far as that want to get into DJing.
Exactly.
So, in 2019, before the pandemic hit, I started doing DJ classes. I was doing them at the Grind before it closed. I never picked it back up because after the pandemic, it was just hard to find a place. And I'm actually thinking about getting back into that right now. But, for the youth that are looking into wanting to be a DJ, I would say definitely they need to definitely try to reach out to someone, of my status or another older DJ, just to get some pointers, get some encouragement on different techniques that they can practice and stuff. And I mean, then you have some kids, man, they so self-sufficient, they can just go look at videos on YouTube of different, DJs, and they just quick to pick up, things like that. So I would say, if they have a dream into going to DJing, doing it at that age and at a young age right now is definitely the best time to do it, because I mean, you can be a young entrepreneur by the time you 13, 14, 15 years old doing young kids parties. And you can be generating revenue at a young age, and by the time you get to college, you know now you pushing it to where you DJing college parties. I mean, it's a long stream of revenue in DJing, and you know, but the biggest part about DJing that a lot of people don't understand or know is not about just being a good DJ, but being good at marketing yourself. You got to be able to market yourself. You got to know the ins and outs of, you know, what platforms to really, you know, showcase your talents. It's kind of hard to do that now on social media because of the copyright rules they have. Because as soon as the readers pick up you're playing a certain song, they'll cut you off. It's kind of hard to do that, but they do have certain platforms that you can do it on that may not be as popular as Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but yeah, I would definitely say just, you know, reach out, you know, get your parents to reach out to an older DJ. Try to continue to just, you know, get as many, you know, repetitious reps you can get in. If your parents do buy you some equipment. And just look at a lot of videos of DJs that you can just search on YouTube and just, you know, pick up on different things. I mean, they got all kind of basic level introductory videos, on YouTube and stuff like that they can search for. So it's definitely a great field to make money, and you know, it'll just grow with you, you know. But you know, one thing I will say is to the two kids or youth that are trying to get into it, don't get discouraged, you know, with the early bumps and bruises you may suffer, because the DJ game can be pretty foul sometimes. Somebody may call you to do a gig and you give them a price, and another DJ will come undercut you. Oh, he charge you $250? Oh, I do it for $150. And them type of DJs I can't stand. I'm gonna be honest with you, but you know, I'm just saying, just giving an example. But yeah, that's pretty much the advice that I would give, you know, the younger kids. But parents should never not allow them to try it out as well. Because some parents be like, nah, you don't need to do that, blah blah blah, for other reasons. But let them kids experience that. So.
You never know how far that could take a child.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They could become their own business person.
Yeah.
Because you really work for yourself.
Have the support
Right.
from not only their parents, but you know,
Others.
friends and
Yeah,
family.
because my son,
It go a long way.
yeah, my son too. And when he see me playing around on it, he up there trying to come rub on the turntable and everything. So yeah, he trying to join me. So by the time he get about 6, 7, we gonna start working on it. Because I've seen kids that are 6 or 7 years old right now that can DJ something better than some grown men.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I'm telling you,
You say
like
your son too. How many kids you have?
I got 2. So my daughter is 15. She's at Central High. And then I have my son. He's 2. He'll be 3 in October.
Okay, that's what's
Yeah.
up.
So you know, by the time he gets 6 or 7, he gonna be ready to roll. But yeah, they got kids. They just got some of these kids just have a knack for music.
Yeah.
And so you know, like I said, I've seen kids 6, 7 years old DJing better than, you know, grown men who've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
You know, so.
You said something very good. Do not give up.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
those bumps, you're going to
Yeah.
see them. You might come to
Yeah, you definitely gonna get, in your first couple of years, you definitely gonna probably crash somewhere now.
Right.
Like you gonna have a bad gig.
Right.
Like when you first start out, everything not gonna be peaches and cream. Like it's one thing to be in a room by yourself practicing music. It's another thing when you're standing in front of 500 to 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, I've been in them rooms. I've seen them all. You know, I done DJ'd in front of 4,000 or 5,000 people at a concert before. So it's, yeah, it can get,
Be intimidating.
yeah, that pressure can get to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you got all these different mindsets in this room, and you got to play something that's gonna get all of them rolling. You know, but one thing I can say, once you get them rolling, you should be good. So.
And I want to ask this, and we're going to be wrapping up the podcast, but I want to ask, what if you had one wish for DJ Pleasure? What would be that wish that you would have to come true as far as your DJing?
Oh, no doubt about it. To DJ in a scenario where it's something kind of the same as like Essence Fest, something like in that. Like, well, I'm in a Superdome, and you got 40,000 people, and I'm in there repping for my city, Baton Rouge, and just to have that opportunity to turn up, people from all over the world coming down to New Orleans, stuff like that. So that would be my ideal dream as a DJ, something to that nature. And I say that because that's closer to home, but it could be anywhere, just with that same type of platform. Yeah, just a huge stage like that, because believe it or not, it's all about relationships built and just kind of getting yourself out there, but it's also about who you know. So
that's true. That's true.
It's not even about the skill level sometimes, it's about getting into the right door.
Right.
And so if I could say a dream, that would definitely be yeah.
And I gotta say this because
I'm gonna we're gonna connect on that, because I actually reached out to Essence. When I tell y'all I just do things, I do it, but
I do this
with prayer ahead of everything. And I reached out to Essence, and I'll tell it because it's gonna happen. I speak it into existence. Reached out for this year, but I was a little bit too late after the deadline. So next year, I am trying to make sure that Classic Quties will be a part of Essence, to be able to interview and the experience of New Orleans Life, Essence Fest Life 2025. So this is something I can get with you, and we can actually do what we have to do to try to get our foot in the door.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, like I've DJ like parties at Essence Fest for back in 2015 I DJ'd an event with Tank, and I did some other events in 2016 as well. But I want the big stage. I want the big stage. And before you wrap up, it was one other thing I want to touch on the nightlife too. So one thing else I wanted to say is about as far as the 30 and up crowd is, so a lot of times they say, they complain about they don't have anything to do. So I just want people to understand, when you do have something to do, you gotta go support it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta go support it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't expect a promoter to continue to spend thousands of dollars to try to give you something nice to do, and then they're not getting nothing return on the investment.
Right.
You gotta support it. You know what I'm saying? So, even if it may not seem like it's your cup of tea, just go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Just to see, what the atmosphere is like. Yeah. But just buy a ticket or something. Yeah. Because the thing is to grow the city in that industry, we have to support each other and support these different types of events. So I wanted to make sure I touch base on that, because unfortunately we do live in a city sometimes where people support the person and not the quality of the event, and that's just keeping it 100. But at the same time, you have to make sure when people come in with new events that the city hasn't seen, go support it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to touch base on that.
We appreciate you.
Again, give out your social media information for all our guests that are listening on Quties page, on Facebook, as well as Classic Quties.
All right. So if you're on Facebook, my business page is DJ Pleasure. You just type it in, it'll come up. I think I'm on the DJ Pleasure on Facebook. So yeah, I'm surprised you ain't asked me where my name came from. But anyway, I thought that was gonna be like the first question. But anyway,
But that is a question.
Oh no. So my DJ page on Facebook is DJ Pleasure. On Instagram, it's DJ_Pleasure225. That's DJ_Pleasure225. And I have my website that I launched. That's crazy. It's been a year this week. So I launched my website last year. It's a year old now. But it's www.djpleasure, www.djpleasure225.com. So yeah, on that website you can book me. You can book me through the calendar if it's available for that date. All the events I have are on that page, whether I'm DJing or giving the event myself. And like the upcoming event we have right now, like you can get your tickets. It'll take you straight to the ticket link. Click on get tickets and gives you the information about that as well. And I also have shirts that you can buy off of that too. I got a shop where you can buy shirts that I rock with DJ Pleasure, so you can do that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my social media platforms.
Okay, well, since you had said that, I can't rock with DJ Pleasure if I don't know where DJ Pleasure came from.
Oh, all right. So a lot of people, when I first came out with it, they was like, "What?" It was like, "Man, what is you?" I said, "No, it's not anything erotic or nothing like that. It ain't nothing like that." So when you go to a concert or you go to an event that that's got any kind of entertainment, most of the time, a lot of times they'll say for your listening pleasure. Tonight you have such and such. So I said, well, man, I can roll with that, DJ Pleasure, and then my tagline is for your listening pleasure.
Okay.
That's why I went with the topic for your entertainment, because you're doing promotional events as well as DJ events.
Right. So yeah, that's where it came from, though.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. As well, we want to give a shout out to Coleman, Mr. Coleman, Gerald Coleman, at Monte Cristo Cigar Bar and Bistro. Yay, Gerald.
Yay.
And that's actually 7808 Howard Boulevard. Y'all come check them out. As well as August 24th, they do have the return of Level 6. It's going to be a live band for the grown folks. Yes, so y'all could come check that out. Also, again, you can actually... What you got to say, Tammy?
Okay. Y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe. On Facebook, it's going to be Quties page. On Instagram, it's going to be Classic Quties. YouTube, Conversations with Classic Quties podcast. And that's it. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe.
That pretty much
Wraps it up for tonight, you guys. Thanks everyone for coming out.
Thank you.
Again, like, share, and subscribe. Come check us out, whether you are in the area or not. Visit us on social media. Next episode will be episode 5 with, I can't tell you, it's just shit, y'all just gotta follow. But it's a good one.
And just know we at the same place every other Wednesday. What's the address?
7808 Howell Boulevard.
Every other Wednesday. We are right here. Come join us.
all right. Come on.
Classic Cutie signing off.
Bye, guys.